Council meeting for Tuesday, May 9th, 2023 at 7 p.m. We all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, for one nation, visual with justice for all.
Can we have a moment of silence in remembrance of the massacres that happened in Texas this weekend, in Allen, Texas, and in Brownsville, Texas. Okay. Can I get a vote on the meeting agenda? Oh, I'm sorry, roll call. No, thank you.
Mayor? Councilwoman Diane?
here.
Councilperson Antonio?
Here.
Councilperson Mary?
And
Councilperson Ann?
here.
Councilperson Vera? Councilperson Arturo? Here.
Now can I get a vote on the agenda?
I make a motion to vote on the meeting agenda.
I have a vote by Diana,
I second the motion.
second by Ann. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Do we have any visitors' comments? Okay. Can I get a motion on the consent agenda A through C?
I make a motion on the consent agenda A through C.
I have a motion by Diana.
Second motion.
I have a second by Antonio. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. No public hearing. No old business. Now we're gonna go ahead and go on to new business. We're gonna go on to A, Gray and Osborne Award of the Drilling Wells 7 and 8 project. So this is what we talked about in the meeting at 6 o'clock with Jamin. So I need to see if we can get a motion for that.
I make a motion on the new business agenda for Greg and Osborne, the award of the drilling well.
I have
That would be through A through Z?
7 and 8.
Oh, 7 and 8, sorry.
I have a motion by Diana, second by Arturo. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. B, Gray and Osborne Well 7 and 8 Engineering Service Agreement. So if I can get a motion on that.
I make a motion on the Greg and Osborne well, 7 and 8. Anthony?
I have a motion by Diana,
I second it. Sorry.
second by Ann. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna go ahead and go on to C, Gray and Osborne, for 2023 for the crack seal project that we discussed earlier. Can I get a motion for that?
I make a motion for the Gray and Osborne, 2023.
I second.
I have a motion by Diane, second by Arturo. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. So we're gonna go ahead and table D, which is the approval of resolution 2023-16, authorizing the agreement between the city of Mapton and the Iglesia Hermanos de Gracia for building, located at 406 Washington. So, if they decide to come in this evening, we'll go back to that, but as of right now, we'll go ahead and we'll just table that for the next meeting. Okay? Can I get a motion so we can table this, please?
I make a motion to table this for the next meeting.
I have a motion by Diana, second by Vera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. So now we're gonna go ahead and go on to E, for the beautification award presentation. So you all know we started that up again. And last year we were only focused mainly on the north side because that's where we were getting the nominations from. So this spring, we actually were able to find a family on north side and south side. And we went around with the staff and for the north side of town, they nominated and voted for Ruben and Mary Ellen Olivares for the north side of town. So I'm gonna go ahead and present Anne with a basket.
There you go, Ariana.
And
There you go.
and a
And
certificate. So, thank you. Yard to keep it up.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys keep up the good work on your yard, it looks really, really nice. So if you all get a chance, go ahead and drive by, they live on Third Avenue, Second Avenue. So, I won't give out the address, but you guys probably know, we don't wanna give it out on video, but they do live down that street. So, if you wanna stop by or just drive by and look at their yard, it looks really nice. Just gonna take your plant, don't put it outside. So, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you very much.
So, we did have another family, they're not here, I don't know.
I believe they're outside, Mayor.
Oh, well, you wanna call them in? You wanna call them in? They're probably embarrassed or, I don't know.
I don't wanna go out there because I might scare them off.
Yeah, you're right, chief. So,
Do you have very many houses that,
what's that?
do you have very many houses that people really work in the yards?
We do, but not as many as we'd like to see done.
They're not,
They have,
they're not there, no.
oh,
They were sitting out front.
oh my goodness. Okay.
I have another spot. I mean, another spot for that other.
I already tried, she said no.
I told her no.
You know, spot for the second basket.
Council, I'm not.
So, but yeah, we encourage all homeowners to take pride in their yards, you know, to, you know, make their neighborhood look nice. You know, so hopefully when people see your yard and they see the sign in your yard, they'll be like, oh, we want that sign in our yard, you know? So, thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
We saw that our neighbors had it before, the Alvarados.
Oh, yeah, he had it last year.
Oh, was it last year?
Yeah, he had it last year. Yeah, so, okay, so, we're gonna go ahead and go on to 9, mayor and council member reports, so, oh, I'm sorry, yes. Wait, what F? We're gonna go ahead and, YV-COG, Vicki is here from YV-COG, and, she's gonna introduce us to some program funding.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an update. I don't know
Okay.
if we need this to be on or if you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Is it not on? Here, you can use mine.
Yeah, it gives me a brain on. Okay, okay, now, can you hear me better? Yes. Okay, and I'm tall. So, thank you. So first of all, I'm here to say thank you for being supporters and members of YV-COG. It's an organization that a lot of people don't know has been around since 1966. It was formed by mayors and councils at that time, along with the commissioners, and created with the intent of working on things together in collaboration. Any projects that affected the whole region, that's where YV-COG could be helpful. Cities working together, everybody working together, and you know, a recent example is the Crime Lab, as you know, everybody worked on that project together. So thank you for that. And the report that I've given all of you, that binder, has pictures of all the staff members. So if you want to see who's calling you on the phone, that's who's on page 1 right there inside. You can see all of our staff members. There's a lot of experience in there. The next page also shows our Outstanding Service Award for last year, which was awarded to Sheriff Udell and Chief Dan Chrisman who helped with the Crime Lab project quite a bit, traveling to councils, answering questions. Your chief has been a wonderful partner too. It's been great to have all of law enforcement working as a team. And that award was handed out, I think it was in December. And this is a review of 2022, and there's a lot that's happened since then. I'll try to give you a little bit of an update at the end. So I already talked about the purpose document, so you know we've been around since 1966. That's an actual copy of it on the next page, and it shows who's on our executive board. The board is formed of council members and a commissioner from different regions. The policy board, the transportation policy board, you see there on that, includes WashDOT, and it includes YCDA and People for People. So it also includes transportation people, and that is a transportation policy board. What happens with transportation at YVCOG is, you might imagine, roads are a very complicated thing and they cross jurisdictions. So we coordinate city, state, federal, county, all the different agencies. As a road moves from one place to the next, you want to have that road not change every time it crosses a jurisdiction, and that takes a lot of coordination. And that's one of the main reasons why YVCOG does transportation, is because we work with everyone and coordinate all of those projects. There's a list of the projects that came through YVCOG last year at $1.2 million worth of projects, and there's a list of those there. Those are projects that the TAC, the Technical Advisory Committee, and all the cities can be part of the TAC. And that's when your projects get submitted and they go through a process. Your public works people vet out and rank those projects, and then they go to funding. And it's a process, and sometimes it takes a really long time to get something funded, but that is how transportation works, and that's state and federal. So we also do land use planning for you. You can probably have talked to our planners and heard we do the annexations, subdivisions, conditional use permits, all of the different things that possibly could be managed as far as land use go. And we're currently working on housing action plans in 6 cities. Those were funded by Commerce last year with the intent of helping communities streamline their processes and have development code and regulations that would encourage different types of housing. And the state is very concerned about that. And I'm sure you've heard a lot during this session, a lot of proposals were made to encourage what's called the missing middle of housing, which you might have noticed across the valley. There's a lot of apartments and there's a lot of single family homes, but there's not a lot of the stuff in the middle, the duplexes and quad and townhomes, and there's some of that that's happening, but that is the gap. That's where, if you go out to the public and ask them what type of housing can you afford and what would you like to live in, there's a whole bunch of property that's not being developed yet, types of housing. So that's something that is a focus of the housing action plans, is trying to help communities prepare for that type of housing if the community wants it and the council wants it. So another thing we do at YVCOG is we have the GIS mapping. That is, I'm sure you've gone on the county site at some point and seen all the parcels and the mapping. We do that for all the jurisdictions except for Yakima County and the city of Yakima. And we do a new thing that happened in the last year and a half or so, is we partnered with YCDA, the Development Association, and created an online map. That will mean that developers from other areas can go online and look and see what's available for parcels in all of the communities, which is nice for a city like Mapton, because a lot of times your stuff may be on paper, it might not be updated. It's a really nice way for you to shine when developers are looking for a place. And so instead of just having the places that are easy to access with that information like Yakima or Yakima County, this gets everybody a little more noticed. And another thing we are doing is we have a new tool called Streetlight, which is another mapping type of application. There's a picture of that in your book. don't have the page number, but what it is, a map on the top half of the page, and on the bottom half is a second map that has some red, like skyscrapers, kind of, that one, yep. So what that is it's amazing, really. It takes cell phone information, and it can show origin and destination. So that is a map right there of people coming into the casino in Toppenish between 6 and 10 a.m. and where they came from. And it's a very powerful tool that can be used in planning. It can help us figure out, economic development is another thing, but it's very helpful with transportation projects.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does that have to do anything with AI?
No.
No. How's that
It
information
doesn't.
collected?
It is, it comes off of the pings on the cell phone.
On cell phones?
Yeah, and it's anonymous information, so it doesn't have an identifier that shows it's you, but it does show it's a vehicle.
Okay.
And I think it also shows some information too. Like it can gather different types of information about the vehicle.
Personal information?
Not personally identifiable, so we don't see that.
Okay.
But I think that's what they use, is they kind of aggregate that. So they might say, oh, look, there's 4 cars that came from this block in this city. It's really amazing and maybe a little creepy.
Well, yeah, think about it.
I don't
Yeah.
want nobody knowing I'm going
Yeah.
there.
So,
So when they read the times, they know who it is.
yeah, so the technology is changing though. So cell phones is how it had worked for the last couple of years, and I think they're changing it for some of those reasons, but it's still based on people movement. So it's, I think, intended to be not identifiable information, but also can help identify,
Where you're coming from.
yeah, so that your roads are carrying, if there's overcapacity, or they can see where the people are coming from and going to. It can help communities plan as well. So if, Walmart distribution center goes in, how does that impact the cities around? That kind of a thing. So, yeah, really interesting stuff, and the technology is amazing.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then another thing we worked on, I think you know about this one, because I think Maria came and talked to you, is our community law enforcement partnership grant that started almost 18 months ago with working with all of our chiefs and having an interview with them. And I don't think you were here to have that interview, but we started out by asking all of them the same questions to kind of figure out what was going on in your world and what were your concerns and needs. And then we spent every single pop-up event you could possibly go to, Cherry Festival, to the fair, and everything in between in all the communities, and asked questions of the people there about public safety. We wanted to know if they felt safe in their community. We wanted to know if they'd been a victim of crime, and if they had been, if they reported it. There was a series of questions, including like what types of crime they were most concerned about, things like that. So that also was a good reason. The survey was great information, but it was also a good opportunity to really talk to the people and try to build those relationships up. So National Night Out and a lot of things like that were opportunities for law enforcement to throw football with the kids and kind of get to know each other again after COVID. That had been a real, long time. We hadn't seen people playing in the yard, and law enforcement had been doing their job the whole time, but so it was a really good project, and we hope to continue that. Commerce has extended that grant, and so we will be reapplying so that we can continue to support the communities, including National Night Out and things like that. So the Community Development Block Grant, I think you may have heard about, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an update because Mabton is included in this project. What it will be, and we're very close to being able to release that to assist the people here. It is a 30 to 80% of AMI, which is about $16,000 to $44,000 per year. That's about the income range, to assist senior citizens with home repairs. And it's a grant program. So we have an application process. We've got that mostly put together. There's going to be some outreach to make sure that people know about the program here and contact and can get their repairs done. The intent of the program is to allow people to stay in their homes and to have a healthy place to retire and stay there. So that is an exciting thing. I hopefully will make a good impact here. One of the things we're working on that's not in this book, along those lines too, is we're gonna help with a community priority process, and I wanted to explain what that means. There's some outreach that we can conduct that will help your community tell us what they care about. If you come out with a survey that shows these are the issues they're most concerned with. What's nice about that is that the Department of Commerce is very, very interested in supporting community-led initiatives. They care about what you think, council, but they care more about what the community thinks. And so if you have a project that matches what the community wants and what you want, your applications for grants are much, much stronger. So we want to help you by having that report that shows what the community wants. And it'll be great if we can find alignment there to support your priorities too. We also worked in Toppenish, and this is a separate grant than what I just described, over the last couple of years, helping them with health-related housing issues, and are launching that project to assist with mold abatement and, contaminated water, things that are more health-related housing things, and that's in the city of Toppenish right now. There's a whole lot of pages on numbers. I don't need to share those with you, but if you're interested in knowing all of our funding, it's in there, transparent. If you have any questions, you feel free to call me. And then the future priorities. So we continue to work, our priorities are supporting your community and trying to help you with housing. We want to help you with the outreach that is helpful to get you the grants that I know you guys want. They can partner with any other kind of funding requests, and they can make an application stronger. The crime lab update I can give you, just talking to Chief, gave him kind of an update. We have finished the renovation in the Zilla location. The equipment has been purchased, and being, it comes in increments, and a lot of these things are take a while to get. The first thing coming, I think, is in 2 weeks. Is the firearms equipment, and I've been ballistic equipment will be delivered soon. We have 3 people hired, experts. We got 3 amazing employees that I can't announce yet, but you will get to meet them. I hope to be able to have an event where council can ask questions and meet them. Let's see, we're working on policies and procedures, and we have our analysts and consultants in place to help scale up those policies and procedures, because you don't want me writing that stuff, you know that for sure. And we've worked through the process of getting Spillman, which is the regional 911 database, so we'll be part of that too. So it's been quite a year. I don't know if you have any questions, but that's what's going on.
Quick, you want to fill them in, because we have 2 new city employees, and then we have new citizens of the city, so they're not familiar with the whole thing going on with that. So
Okay, with the crime lab.
With the crime lab.
Okay, so the crime lab was started with ARPA funding from the Yakima County. It came through the federal government to Yakima County, and then Yakima County awarded us $2.8 million to acquire about half of that is in equipment. It's firearms, it's rapid hit DNA. That will be the first in the state potentially. It's gonna be close. Spokane's trying to do it at the same time, so it's gonna be real close who's first. I'm working fast. And we'll have Cellbrite and Graykey, which are cell phone programs that assist law enforcement when there's a warrant for a cell phone that's been in a crime. We will have the equipment to be able to assist officers with that. There's some criminal mapping information that will take information out of Spillman and turn it into a map, so we'll be able to see hotspots and things like that and work across the jurisdictions with potential people who are problems and watching them move from city to city and across this valley. Our officers will be well informed on that and work together, so we're excited about that too. So that project is getting close to launch. It's been a lot of work getting all the people in place, but the key to it is the people. And the last person will be onboarded on June 5th. So we're getting close.
So we don't have to send out anything over to Spokane anymore, we can just stay local.
We will be able to triage, not everything.
Not everything.
So we don't have fingerprints, we're not gonna do toxicology, things like that, they'll still go to the state. We'll triage rapid hit the DNA, and all the firearms we can handle here, absolutely. So,
Now, where is that office gonna be at? There
it's
is
in
the-
Zilla, at the sheriff's office there,
Oh, the sheriff's office, okay.
Mid-Valley, so it's easy for everybody to get to.
Pretty exciting.
It is exciting, and the state is, reacting to it a little bit, and I think in a positive way. So I like to see, I'm a business owner in my real life, and I think competition helps everybody get better. And I think they will see, that they need to improve their services, and we will be working in partnership with them to make sure that happens.
Any questions? Questions for Vicki?
Okay, well, thank you for having me, sorry I wasn't on the calendar.
No, think you're fine. Thank you.
Thanks for bringing all that in.
So,
Maybe the ones that were.
They were out there.
Down there, a pickup parked out there and then a couple walked. Maybe they're said nothing.
Or was it the folks that had the,
I'm assuming, so.
we're go ahead and go on to, mayor and council member reports. So, does anybody have anything? Any reports from the council?
Except for community is August 12th.
Oh, yeah, okay. August 12th.
No?
Okay.
Vera, do you guys have any events coming up?
August 12th, we're gonna have our community day. So we wanna know right now.
And, oh yeah, that'll be for Jim and Craig.
Right.
And then Chief, do you have anything?
Nothing to report as far as the PD is concerned. But July 8th is the date that we're kind of honing in on for having that community show and shine, try to bring the citizens out. And I think in July, there's a higher likelihood that we're gonna have good weather, because that's gonna be important to have a nice sunny day, hot, I'm sure, and then we're gonna have some vendors coming in. So it's still a work in progress, but I think July 8th is kind of the target date that we're hoping to go with. And then there's still gonna be some planning going on to try to put that together. But it's gonna be similar to what we did with the National Night Out. I'm gonna invite other law enforcement to come out. That way it's gonna give us a good opportunity to reach out to everybody. And it's a good opportunity for everybody to come out. And the idea is to have a show and shine, to have, it's not gonna be a car show, but it's similar, where there's no entry fee. And that way you can bring your cars out. If you have cars, and then if you have food, and then music, hopefully it's gonna bring a lot of folks out. And so that's what we're trying to do. I can't think of anything else. I know our new hire, Officer Sullivan, started at the new Pasco Academy. I don't know if everybody saw the news, but Mapton was mentioned on the news in the Tri-Cities, that we were one of the agencies that's sending somebody there. And so we're excited about that. And any questions on the July 8th?
I know, we'll be out this weekend taking applications to Zilla and kind of.
Yes, they
getting
have.
out to vendors there.
Yeah, they have the Zilla Parade this Saturday, so the mayor and I are gonna try to hand out some flyers while we're there.
Yeah, I'm not. No, oh, okay, yeah, so we'll be out this weekend, the chief and I handing out, if I don't, well, chief, you can do yours. It's your event. So, let's see, any staff reports?
No, I don't have anything else.
So we have Officer Shepherd, he's been driving around, I see him here in the morning.
Yep.
So I know we have more coverage, you know, he's doing long days.
Yeah, I know anytime we get a new officer, we have to drive to Tacoma to get him a new uniform. There's a list of like 25 things we have to check off to get him Spillman. There's just access to the computer database. There's a lot of things that we have to do. And we're down to one thing, and that's just a cell phone. But we're working on that because we have to go through, government. So anyway, long story short is he's out patrolling, he's handling calls, and he's doing a good job, and he's learning the city quickly. And so he's gonna be a big part of our hours that we're trying to cover for the city because we've been short on officers. But I think once we get Officer Sullivan back from the academy, then that's gonna stretch out the times that we can spend out on the road. So we're working on it, it's taking time. Not easy to get officers nowadays, but we're working on it. I don't think I have anything else to add. I think that pretty much covers everything.
Any staff reports? Yes? Would you like to say anything?
No.
Larry? Okay, well, I think, we are fully staffed now at the city hall, and I'm pretty excited, with, everyone that we have in the office. I know it's been crazy last 6-7 months, because we have all new employees, but, they're doing a great job. The officers are doing a great job. I think we're moving forward and the city's looking good. You know, like I said, there are a lot of new things coming into town, so I'm excited, you know, and, we just need everybody to work together, council members and, the city, you know, and the citizens of Mountain. We just need to come together and make this a better place. That's what it's about. So,
I have a question.
you wanna stand up and state your name?
Oh, my God.
That's what happens when you wanna say something.
Ruben Olivares. My question is, why do officers have to go all the way to Tacoma to get uniforms?
Because it takes about 3 to 5 months to get a jumpsuit. When we drive there, we drive back with the uniform, and they already put patches, they put everything on. These take months because there's a waiting list. So we go there because they have some already there, and otherwise we have to wait, and we don't have the time to wait for that many months. Anybody that builds these, they build them from scratch. They happen to have some that are already there, and we try to find something that fits the officer. And so driving over there saves us, you know, having to wait 4, 5, 6 months. I mean, you have to sit and wait. You never know when they're coming in. So that's the reason that we take the drive over there.
I was just curious.
Yeah, and we go right to where they build them, and there's only certain places that'll build these. And Bratware in Tacoma is one of the places, and once we started going there, they give us first class service. You take a lunch, you come right back, and they have the patches already. They have everything that's on this uniform ready to go, and they hand it to you, and you drive back and wear. Otherwise, you gotta wait 4 to 5 months, and that's a long wait. But, so we're lucky that they attend to us because they know we drive all the way from this side of the mountain. Otherwise, they would make everybody else wait, so we're very lucky, fortunate, so, anyway,
All right, well, thank you, I was just curious.
yeah, so.
Any other questions?
I have a comment, a good one about our code enforcement young man. He doesn't have any, preferences on who you are or who you aren't. I had my van parked in the wrong direction, and I was telling him about something else in the neighborhood. He goes, and by the way, your van's parked in the wrong direction. And I thought that was really good. Instead of him being intimidated, he told me, you need to turn it around. I go, that was good. I just thought that was awesome.
Not an intimidating person.
No, he did the job.
I had a visit too, so.
Yeah, he's real strict on what he sees there, and he doesn't deviate from what he sees there, what
Yeah.
it says.
But he was
That's
really
what it says,
nice.
you know, so he stays right on point with what's on the municipal code. He doesn't make his own rules. It's something that's already been in the system
Yeah.
for years.
I just thought I'd give him a compliment, because that way he did his job, she's part of the city, I ain't gonna bother her. Oh, no.
Is that you're on the council?
He recognized me, yeah.
Oh,
He knows.
Cause I'm in an everyday outfit, and you know, that kind of stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, the ordinance hasn't been enforced in a long time, and, I mean, we gotta get Mapton back to what it once was. Mapton was a beautiful little community back in the day growing up, and I think me and Mr. Olivares had that conversation yesterday. You know, this used to be a really clean town, and we need to bring it back to its standards, cause I mean, it was nice, you know? It was a really nice little place, and
yeah, it was. I will say this, that kid that drives around in that car,
the code of
Yeah.
Ian.
yeah, I think he's doing a hell of a job because, I mean, I see him all day long.
Yeah.
He'll go up my street at least 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
So I know he's making his rounds, and it seems like things have gotten a little bit, you know, they've cleaned up a little bit.
So he
Yeah.
does report to the chief. I don't have really any interaction with him other than him coming in, you know, doing his little typing and getting his letters ready, but he reports to the chief, and, the less I know, the better for me.
So is he an officer, or is he just,
Code enforcement, so anything related to code, whether if a car is not running, it doesn't have a motor and it's parked out front,
yes,
on blocks, then he's gonna deal with it. Anything to do with code, nothing to do with criminal stuff.
okay.
So just all code enforcement only. But yeah, he's been staying busy every time, you know, I know when I'm driving around, he's talking to somebody, he's standing there, you know, he'll wave at me as I drive by, but he's always right in the middle of a conversation with somebody. And I told him just be reasonable, you know, everybody, there's people at work, there's people, you have to be reasonable, and, you know, you can't expect something to be done right at that second. The idea is to work with everybody to, you know, the end result is it needs to be cleaned up, but it's working with them to get to that point. He's been doing a really good job. You don't see as many stray dogs because he's been handing out flyers on the dogs running around. So when you drive around, you won't see as many as you did a month ago, so, anyway.
Chief, how many cars do you think we've had towed out of Mapton since you've been here? Approximately?
It's probably been 50 to 60
Wow.
would be, yeah, there's a lot.
That's good.
So,
A lot of them,
That's what we were talking about yesterday.
yeah, there's been a lot
What-
of cars being towed.
when I first started, the very first week, there was cars on blocks that were a safety risk to if a kid crawls underneath.
Mhm.
I towed a bunch of them myself, and once we started moving into the residence, you know, then, you know, but some of them were so unsafe. Oh yeah, I've been working on it. Well, how long has it been here? Oh, like 2 years, you know, that type of thing. No, that's not gonna fly. I don't need, while I'm the chief, I don't want a kid to crawl under there and the car falls on them and have to answer to that, so I'd rather have you yell at me for towing the car, but it was a safety risk. But a lot of them are not safety risks at this point because I got rid of those to start with, but anyway, so he's doing a good job with, and he's getting good, responses from the people he's contacting, so if you drive up and down the street, you're gonna see a lot more cars pointed in the correct direction instead of every which way. So it's looking more organized out there, and I think he's getting good responses from people, so.
No, he's doing good, he's doing a good job, I think.
It's good to hear the positive comments.
Anything else?
Just the yard sale signs on those electric. I've had 2 people come to my house and tell me, how come they're putting the yard sale signs on those, posts, the light posts? Yeah, 'cause they told me, and I told the lady, and she said, well, why didn't you do them over there? And I go, oh my God, so.
So, yeah,
you know,
Yeah, so
we
if
need
we
to
see those,
enforce
we'll
that.
contact the location. Usually, it's gonna be on the sign, so we know how to get to the place that put it up. So, but yeah, that's something that we'll have to look at and go to contact them, because otherwise you start, you know, they forget to take them down, and then the poles start looking horrible,
Isn't
and
it on there, when they get the license, isn't it on there?
I believe so, yeah.
Can we look at that
Yeah,
tomorrow?
we can.
Yeah, 'cause I thought it would be on there, and that way they would know, they couldn't say they didn't know.
Yeah.
You can't stay home on post?
No,
Okay.
we,
I
on
never
the
have yard sales
electrical
on.
poles,
Huh?
on the electrical poles.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else? Okay, so we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 7:40.